as a price. What's happening, everyone? So today I want to talk to you a little bit about the student debt forgiveness that the Biden administration just announced last week. They're going to be forgiving to most students. But without further ado, let me tell you a little bit about what this program is. So what it is, it basically erases up to $10,000 of your student loan and up to $20,000 if you receive any Pell Grants from the government. So for most of you who have student debt, and ever since COVID, everything happened since COVID. A lot of the payments have stopped, and a lot of the government basically has frozen all of those accounts for you not to be giving your money, because most, as you already know, during COVID, a lot of students mainly they lost they lost their jobs, they lost income coming in. So the government decided to go ahead and stop that payment for student debt. But I want to talk to you a little bit about what I believe. First of all, for me, let me tell you, I don't believe that this is a good thing at all. This is not a good thing, but this is my personal take, and I'll tell you why I believe it's not a good thing. But there's an article that just came out with CNBC that student loan forgiveness may make inflation worse, depending on how you take it. So there's an article that reads that depending on how you ask, the Biden administration forgiveness, the $20,000 loan will either make inflation worse, or it will have a not much of a big impact on it. But the committee responsible for the budget, for the federal budget, which is the CRFFB, asserts that the debt relief will wipe out this inflationary benefits of the Inflation Reduction Act, which has passed into law earlier this month. No, now what that means is that this will not have any effect on it. But it estimates that this action of erasing all of this debt from the student loan forgiveness, it will be an astronomical 400 to 600 billion dollars wiped out, gone, forget about it. So now, why is it that this is not a good thing? Well, first of all, for me personally, this is going to affect inflation, and it's going to affect it in a way that this loans, this money that they're forgiving you, it's not, somebody's going to have to pay the bill. Someone is going to have to pay the bill, and guess who's going to be paying for that bill? That is you, the taxpayer. You're going to be paying for that bill, because the moment that you erase those $10,000, $20,000 of debt that you have for student, guess what that's going to happen? There's an article that came out from Yahoo. It was Yahoo Finance, and it reads that depending on where they live, student borrowers may soon face an unexpected tax burden. And the reason why is because, let's just say that you have $20,000 in student debt. Now they wipe that out. That $20,000 will eventually become as a discretion, as an income. So you will have to pay taxes on those $20,000. Now you're not going to pay all of the $20,000. Depending on what your tax bracket might be, you will pay taxes on that. If it's $10,000, that will count as an income. Nothing, it's free. Now, for me, without getting too political into this this is September at the recording of this video, and you may or may not know, elections are around the corner. This typically happens, these are midterms, and it happens in November. And it's very critical for Democratic as well as Republican parties to gain the seat, to regain the control of the Senate, the House. And so California is a very deep blue state, meaning that it's a very democratic state. And obviously, our governor Gavin Newsom, it's a Democratic person. And again, I'm not choosing sides on whether you're Republican or Democratic. I'm just trying to stay in the middle here. So stay with me. I'm trying to stay in the middle here. But if you look at all the decisions that have been made here in California, to me, if you include this now student debt forgiveness, and also the program that came out just a couple months ago where California was giving free money to first time home borrowers, it was a very political decision that was made for that reason, because of the midterms. If you ask me, I could be wrong, but that's just how I see it. That's just how I take it. Because it first of all, the first time home borrower program, it just did not work. They were giving you up to $10,000 in student debt. I'm sorry, not a student debt, but they were giving you up to $10,000 in assistance for a down payment, but you had to make a certain income. And then based on that certain income, whatever that limit was for a loan at that time was not equivalent to what the houses were selling for here in the state of California. So again, for me, that was all political, but that's besides the point. I'm trying to stick with this, but I just wanted to give you that example why I believe this is all political, and then this is no exception. You will have to pay those $20,000, but the government taking away. Reads the article. Some states have announced that they will tax this loan forgiveness as a form of income. So I was saying to you, if you get $10,000 erased out of your forgiveness, that will count as a debt. Excuse me, as a income, as a taxable income. Now, which states which states tax student loan forgiveness? So now Mississippi, North Carolina, and Indiana have confirmed that they will consider the Biden administration loan forgiveness programs as a form of taxable income, meaning that the borrowers will have to report it on their annual income taxes for the year in which the debt is formally discharged. Meaning that if you got the debt discharged in right now in 2022, you will have to report as a taxable income for 20 when you do your taxes in 2023. If that happens in 2023, you will have to report that for 2023, so you can therefore do your taxes in 2024. Again, the federal government will not tax the Biden administration forgiveness proposal because the American Rescue Plan suspended taxes on all student debt forgiveness through 2025. Got it. But again, if you get this student loan forgiveness, you will have to pay taxes on that. So now this means that they will consider it effectively income for the year in question. For example, let's just say that you owe $10,000, as I was saying, and your lender officially waives the debt. For tax purposes, you will have be enriched by $10,000. Again, this is not a student. Let me explain this. Nothing comes free. Everything has to be, everything has a price tag. Our freedom here in the United States has a price. I personally served in the Marine Corps, and nothing comes free. I got to experience, the loss of brothers out there in Afghanistan, in Iraq. So there is a price that we all have to pay for our freedom here. If you believe that this $10,000 and $20,000 are just completely wiped out without affecting your wallet in any type of way, let me explain that to you very well. You will be taxed on those $10,000 and $20,000 depending on which state you are in. Now, at the recording of this video, that hasn't been made official, but there are states that are considering taxing that debt as a taxable income. This can lead to a significant and often unexpected tax bill by the end of the year. To really understand what is happening behind all of the decisions that are being made, you know take don't take sides for a minute and just really analyze the situation. How did we get here in the first place, and what is really happening with our government? What is really happening with the decisions that we're making today in our society? Because I believe that we got here for a reason. We just didn't get here for nothing. Something had to happen along the way. So now behind me, I say, if you believe that is a bad thing, that is a good thing, well, a lot of individuals who believe, and then you may disagree with me on this, but this is my take. If a lot of individuals might believe that if this is a good thing, a lot of economists are saying that is a good thing, but just as a lot of economists are saying that this is a good thing, a lot of economists are plentiful of economists are saying this is a bad thing. So our country has been divided, and that is a fact, into socialism and capitalism. Socialism always views capitalism as a bad thing. You're bad. You're rich. Rich people are evil. You don't even you take all the money from the poor. Really, but capitalism is what built our country. If you don't like the shirt that you're wearing, it was built by a capitalist. If you don't like the camera that you are recording yourself, that you're watching me make this video, that was built by a capitalist. If you don't like the microphone that you use, if you don't like the shoes, Nike shoes that you're wearing, your iPhone, You don't like taking your kids to Disneyland. That was all built by capitalists. So capitalists are the ones that build jobs, that help and contribute to society to make to keep on having the engine economy going. You have a socialist who is saying, well, I don't believe that you should be making that much money. We need to tax you, and we need to tax you hard. You need to be able to pay your dues. You need to give back to society. A lot of these individuals, take for example Elon Musk, okay, Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, Jeff Bezos. I mean, these guys are multi-billionaires, and all of these guys, they have something in common, and that is that they give back to the community. They give back to society. They also help create jobs. But not only that, but they have a product. They have something of value that they are able to bring in that idea to the world. They bring it to life, because most of you, like you and I, we may have an idea, but just because of the lack of confidence, because of the fear sometimes that we go through, and we say people are not going to like that, we hold back from doing so. But yet you have this capitalist who are saying, I don't care. I'm not afraid of what people are going to say. I'm not afraid of what people may think of me. I'm still going to bring my product out to the marketplace. And guess what? A lot of the times it's a slam dunk. Tesla, iPhones, Disneyland, Nike. The list goes on and on and on and on. Microsoft, Amazon. How many of you like the one click buy? You go to your iPhone and then you just click one slide, and then all of a sudden you purchase something new. Aside from that, that is why I believe that this is not a good thing, because it's a way of government saying it's okay, don't worry about it, I'm going to take care of you. That's why I'm here for. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to forgive all of your student debt, and we're going to erase all of the debt that you have, so you don't have to worry about it. That's what they say. Not necessarily that's what they say, but that's what's happening, right? So now behind doors is okay. Somehow, some way, we need to figure this out. How are we going to be able to get some of that money back? Because it's not just technically wiped out. Somebody has to pay the bill. That is going to be all of us, the taxpayers. Again, this is estimated to erase an astonishing 400 to 600 billion dollars in debt. And if you ask me, this is not a good thing for our economy, because it's going to affect us in many, many, many ways. Many states have passed already laws adapting the business rescue tax plan suspensions for this debt. Others already treat student loans differently from the IRS, or some in some cases have some of them have no income tax at all. Borrowers in those states will face no tax even from the Biden loan forgiveness. So there are some states that you may not have to pay those taxes. So for me, is it just really comes down to I personally believe that this is not a good way to treat this. It is good for the people that really cannot afford to pay that, to make that payment at the moment. But think about it: if other students in the past were able to figure this out in some type of way, if they were able to figure it out, how I can pay that money back, the money that I borrow in order for me to get my education going. How is it that we cannot figure it out today? Why is it that the way that our politicians, the way our country is being operated in today, why is it that now all of a sudden we can't, and therefore our government has to come in to the rescue so that they can forgive your loan? With that being said, I hope that you find some value in it. I just wanted to get into this topic very quickly, because I believe that this is a topic that we all need to be aware of. This is a topic that, as we already know, midterms are coming around the corner. For me, this is a very political. This is a decision that was made based on politics, but that is my personal view. That is just how I see it. You don't have to see it the same way as I do, but that's just my take. I don't believe that this is a good program. I believe that this knocks out whatever we had in place going, coming from how our country was built, and therefore it has gotten out of control, and this is a temporary batch, because it will happen again in the future if there's no laws, there's no rules, regulations set in place in order for students that really don't understand that I don't have to go to college in order for me to make good money. I don't have to go to college to get a good job. But but the culture is there that I have to go to college, and then therefore I have to get a car payment. I have to get into a student loan. I have to have a student payments every month. That is the culture that we live in, and I want you to understand that that is not the culture that we must follow. There's different ways that you can live yourself, get yourself out of debt, so that therefore you not get caught up into this political topics of, are they going to forgive some of the money that I owe, or are they not? And if they are, how is this going to benefit me? How is this going to affect me? Either way, this is a very hot topic that I wanted to share with you all. I hope that you find the value. If you disagree with me in any way, please let me know. Put it down on the comment, because I believe personally that this is not a good program, and it's going to affect us in the long run as we continue to fight this inflationary times. With that being said, if you haven't followed us, all of our social media is going to be down below. Feel free to follow us, and if you find some value in this content, make you share this with your loved ones so that they can also get the value. Until then, see you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.